My name is Sarah Jane Bedwell. I'm a registered dietitian, Nashville's nutrition expert, speaker, and blogger for Self Magazine. I've been using Meallogger with my private practice clients for a little over a year now, and I'd like to tell you about my experience using Meallogger with one of my particular clients. This client is a male, age 35. He is 5'8" tall and has a BMI of 38.6, so an overweight client. And for the sake of privacy, I'm just going to call this client Bob. And Bob has been struggling with his weight his whole life. He has always had a particular problem with emotional eating, and that has created his struggle with his weight. And so I decided to use Meallogger with Bob to help him become more aware of the triggers of his emotional eating, as well as his hunger and fullness signals, and being able to be more self-aware of why and when he was eating. So I've been using Meallogger with Bob for about 5 months now, and he has been very inspired by how easy Meallogger is to use. He's a busy young professional and has a young family, and so he doesn't have a lot of time to do a lot of food journals that involve writing or looking things up. And so he's been very excited about how easy it is to use and to stick to, since all he's doing is using his smartphone, which he has all the time anyway, and photographing his meals on a regular basis. And he's been using it for about 5 months now. And he's also been very motivated by getting daily feedback from me on his meals, me questioning him and helping him to figure out what his emotional triggers are, and just being visually able to see his choices from day to day, and to visually see his success, not only on the scale, but how the numbers are changing over time in terms of his portion sizes, and the numbers of fruits and vegetables he's eating are going up. And so he can visually see that by going back and looking at his pictures on Meallogger. It's also provided me a way to encourage him on a daily basis, and I found this has been much more effective for me as a dietitian in terms of the amount of time I've had to spend. In the past, I've used food journals with clients because they do work, but the problem is handwritten food journals can take a very long time to review. I may not get a food journal from a client until 2 weeks later, and it's got 2 weeks worth of meals that I have to review all at once, and I'm trying to decipher their handwriting or personal abbreviations, and it can take a very long time. Also, I can't see the details like I can when I'm evaluating my clients' meals on Meallogger. With Meallogger, it's very clear to see if they're at a restaurant or if they're at home. I can even see things like how mindful they're being during their meals, which is something that I've worked on with Bob. For instance, I can tell if he's eating in his car or on his couch versus at his kitchen table just by the pictures. So that's been very effective for me too as a dietitian, and definitely a big time saver for me. And I do think Bob in particular, and really all my clients that have used Meallogger, have had better outcomes, not only because it is a food journal and research shows that people who keep food journals lose twice as much weight as those who don't, even with the same eating and exercise plans, but also because Meallogger in particular has enabled people to have easy accountability and to be very aware of their food choices in a way that makes it easy for them to stick to just by taking a simple photograph. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of how much of an improvement I've seen with Bob over the past 5 months in his emotional eating, here's an email that he sent me, a few excerpts from it. First of all, he said, "You know, I have really become more aware of my hunger and fullness signals and how much I'm eating by using Meallogger. In the past, I have eaten as much as I thought I could get away with without drawing some kind of negative attention to myself, or until I just felt horribly stuffed. Now, I really do not want to eat until I'm sick. I want to eat until I'm pleasantly full, and I have a better idea about